So here's a short story about a boyfriend who dodges a big one about finding out that his girlfriend's a big giant cheater before he would inevitably pop the question to her. And how's he find out? He finds out in an online forum of all places. I forget how he does it, but he finds out, sees a whole confession of what she did because everything looked familiar, and he busts her. And you're going to see how she reacts. But here's the thing, guys. The biggest theme of this whole story is what she says. Not just that she cheated, but why she did it. And let me put it to you this way. This is a perfect example of why so many times guys that were originally classified as nice guys turn into total a-holes. And while women complain about guys being jerks and a-holes and all that, well, a lot of times guys that were once nice guys who treated women like and girlfriends like human beings, showed them love, turn into total a-holes because they've been pushed that direction. And now things aren't working too well for her. Titled, I found my girlfriend's anonymous confession on a relationship forum, and a shout out to Bill for sending over this story. It says here, I'm 29 years old and been with my girlfriend, a 28-year-old female, for a little over 6 years. We met in college, moved in together 2 years ago, and honestly, I thought we were solid. Says pretty much every guy that's been cheated on. We've been through long distance, job stress, family drama, all of it. I really believe we were one of those couples who just made it work. But over the past few months, something shifted. She started being distant, more secretive with her phone, staying late at work, and always saying that she was just tired. I kept telling myself not to overthink it, that after 6 years together, people go through phases. Well, everybody has a bad day, that's true. But all these things he's mentioning here, secretive with her phone, guarding her phone, that is key. Staying late, more times with her friends, saying she's just tired, in other words, than actually, hooking up and all that. You put that all together, something's going on. Well, one night, I couldn't sleep and ended up browsing online for advice on how to rebuild emotional connection in long-term relationships. Well, that's when I stumbled upon this website called People Worth Caring About. It looked like a supportive space, people sharing stories about relationships, trust, and how to handle rough patches. I started reading one post that immediately made my chest tighten. The writer described her boyfriend as, quote-unquote, too trusting, mentioning a golden retriever who always senses tension, and even talked about a small argument over a canceled weekend trip, things that were exactly from my life. Well, she wasn't very smart about this. You think you'd be a little more vague about things. But you notice that part, guys? Too trusting. What kind of girlfriend or wife describes their guys too trusting? One that clearly sees them as, in their view, idiots. Weak. Again, weak in their views. Nice. You want someone that's trusting and trust you. But too trusting, that's an insult because she's obviously a piece of shit. Well, I kept scrolling through the story, hoping it was just a coincidence. But every detail matched. She didn't name any names, but she said she'd been seeing someone from work and didn't know how to tell her boyfriend because he was such a kind person. Well, she has no problem continuing on this whole charade. Well, I didn't sleep that night, and the next morning I showed her the post and just asked, "Is this you?" She went pale and started crying before I even finished the sentence. Always, Hobag Handbook Chapter 2, turn on the waterworks, and the guy falls for it. Well, not this guy. That's when she told me everything. She said she'd written the post to process guilt, and that it wasn't supposed to go that far. That's what they always say. And yet, it did. And it's been happening, obviously, lots and lots of times. The only thing we're missing here is, it was a mistake. Well, it's been a few weeks since then. I moved out temporarily, trying to figure out what to do next. Smack! What do you mean temporarily? It's over. And why didn't she move out? I am heartbroken, but a part of me is weirdly relieved to finally know the truth, even if it came from a random forum post. If anybody's wondering how it feels to see your relationship spelled out online by the person you trust the most, it's like reading your own eulogy while you're still alive. And that is the abrupt ending to his thing here, guys. But the point is that, holy crap, this guy, 6 years in, clearly was probably thinking wedding bells. I think he said he's 29. Yeah, 29. She's 28. You guarantee she's thinking wedding bells. And this is probably like her temporarily last hurrah before getting married and then cheating on him again. But he could have married her. He could have been engaged to her. But fortunately, that didn't happen. And now he can move on. And I gather he definitely will move on from her. But 6 years, that's some time in there. But there you go, guys. And of course, she gets caught and the waterworks. But the worst thing is the way she was insulting him in there, saying he's too nice to tell him and he's too trusting. I can tell you one thing. This is the type of thing that turns guys into a-holes here. Now, what's cool about this is the whole comment section are guys supporting him. Guys that have been there. And guys also giving him a dose of reality like she's going to come back. Guaranteed. Because things rarely work out with the guys women cheat with. Now, I'm going to read some of these comments to share the support that is good in the Reddit community. One guy says here, she cheated on you because of how good you are, and women find that boring. I know you must be feeling like crap, but you are already out of the house, pack the rest that you have and break up. This kind of woman are the ones that turn nice guys into villains. You deserve better, and if you stay, she'll continue cheating, and she will ruin you. That's exactly what happened. You can't stay with someone like that. Once a cheater, always a cheater. He also says, she cheated, tell her to get the fuck out. You're not the one who needs to move. Another guy says, you need to blow up her fantasy world. Tell your family, her family, and your friends what she's doing. Never, never, never cover up for a cheater. They do not deserve it, and if you do, then never, ever stop. Cheaters need to suffer the consequences of their actions. Get your story out first, or she may have a very different story and may even accuse you of abuse or some other wrongdoing in order to cover up her bad actions. Because your affair partner is a coworker, advise your employer and tell his wife or partner if he has one. Don't be the doormat. Take care of business right now. Yeah, exactly. You got to control the narrative. And I get it's humiliating. Nobody wants to admit that their girl was cheating on them. It's absolutely humiliating, embarrassing. But if you don't control the narrative with your family, her family, if you've gotten to know them, their friends, everybody, I guarantee you she's going to do it and justify it in some way. And even possibly, like the guy said, make up crap about abuse. It's happened. And hell yeah, get her fired. It's not like they're married. Another one, this guy says, most women use a man's good nature, trust, and loyalty against them, and that's what happened to you. You made the same mistake I did. Trusted a person who didn't deserve it. Accepted their flaws, but assumed the goodwill was being returned in some way. Her comment, too trusting, tells you everything you need to know. By her own admission, she's acknowledging she isn't worth your loyalty, trust, and, as importantly, love. And she's taken it from you because it suited her and now cheated. She's an opportunist, and unfortunately these people cannot change. Now you'll start to see all those other times when she took you for granted, no matter how small. Best of luck, but rescue your future now and move on, or you will regret staying for the rest of your life. If he stays with her, which I don't think he's going to do, guarantee you he'll be back to the same crap. And she'll, of course, is going to put on the full waterworks because things don't work out usually with the affair partners. And last one, and I really like this because lots of people are helping him out. One guy says, you'll be glad you found out now and you didn't waste any more time with a cheater or married her. Stay no contact with her and move on. Odds are the crap she has going on with the guy from work will not last. Do you know anything about him? Is he married or is he single? I ask because it's seriously 50-50 if the guy they cheat with from work is married or not. I feel like in situations. If he's married, screw his marriage over and tell his wife. You're darn right he should tell his wife or girlfriend. Also, and this is very, very rarely, do people that cheat end up with the person they cheated with and are happy as a long-term result. She will likely try to come back to you at some point. Ding, ding, ding. Do not let her. Remember the pain and anguish she put you through and the betrayal she unleashed upon you. This kind of thing is good wake-up call, and you should use it as a teaching agent. The version of you that existed before being betrayed does not exist now. Use the new, hardened version of yourself to build yourself up. Gym it up if you haven't already. Double down on work. Get out there in groups and mingle out of your comfort zone. You'll forget her if you make enough effort to enrich your own life. I agree with all that. Hang out with people that you can trust, you care about, your bros. Hit the gym, get exercise, get out of your comfort zone, work on the grind. But the guy has to go through the grieving process first. And he's still in that, But you can't stay in your room forever listening to freaking sappy, sad music and watching sappy, sad movies and feeling sorry for yourself. I have sympathy for the guy, but a lot of guys can go down that path. 6 years is no small amount. But again, silver lining, he did not marry her. But guys, again, once a cheater, always a cheater. And pay attention to the red flags. They were all there. The phone, the late nights out, probably more times with a girlfriend, the rapid decline in intimacy, all that stuff. You put that all together, something's going on.